Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Talking Retro with CaptNRetro and Emceemur and the Midnight Cast. I realize it's 12:23, but you know, you do what you can in this world. Mur, say what's up.
What's up? Emceemur here.
That's all you got? You didn't have to say just what's up. That's funny. What's up? So solemn.
We'll have plenty. We'll have flax.
So ready to throw down. So solemn already. I love it. It's nice that I can be the talkative, weird, goofy one, and Mur comes ready to cut the fat, get down to the bone, and chew that gristle.
Yeah.
So how's your week been, man? You had a good week? Good couple weeks, no?
No, it really hadn't been worth a shit.
No yard sale findings and scavengings this weekend?
Not since the last episode, no. It's tied up this past weekend, so we'll see what we find this weekend.
That's cool. That's cool. I myself have found a couple neato things. You know, I did have to pay a pretty good dollar for a couple of the things I got. I found me another Rob complete in the box, and it's minty fresh. It might be the nicest one I've ever owned, and I've had 3 of those things. So
you know you're going to pay something for that. You know, nobody has that and just says, "Oh, $1."
Yeah. Oh, give me $3. No.
I mean, it could happen, but it won't.
I did find a loose Rob once for $7, but he wasn't working. He was junk to pieces. It was in the back of the thrift store. It was Alabama. You know, things happen. I was on my way back from one of the Paloozas, I think. But this one is super nice. The little gyros are covered. They still have their protective plastic thing on them, or the paper, like it says something about being protective covering. He's never had the eyepiece put on him. You know, it's still in the baggie. The little glare protector or whatever the hell that thing is. I've never even actually sat and tried to use a Rob.
Well, now I've kind of discussed some topics with you. Anything on your mind currently that you want to start out with?
You know, I'm beyond it. I don't consider myself a newscaster or I don't bring anything new to the table on, like, let's start a discussion on this or that, you know what I mean? Like, as in, I really have no dog in the fight, and I have no reason to think that one thing is better than the other. So I'm just kind of a gamer. I'm a gamer of all genres and all types, and I like everything to a certain extent. And I don't have any qualms with anything that's happening right now in the gaming world. The Atari thing's coming out. That's going to be cool.
Yep.
I just saw this thing on Riggs' channel the other day about it plays PS1 and Sega Dreamcast and Sega CD. I mean, maybe not Dreamcast, but PS1 and Sega CD and a couple other things. But it's it's like a new Retron type system, and it's called a CD, and it was like SEEDI was how it was spelled. But it plays your old discs apparently, and I also can play like Genesis cards and stuff, and like that's cool. That looks neat. It's trying to get a Kickstarter going or something like that. But I really do love the resurgence in retro that's happened. But I do have my problems with some of the things we are going to speak about tonight.
Sure, it's a double-edged sword.
It is, but again, I don't consider myself, any better or any worse than anybody else that has an opinion on the internet. So why not express it and put it out there?
That's right. Well, let's complain about some things. We'll just go ahead and crank it right up with this one. PC gaming, and not PC gaming in general. I just mean PC games. And no, I don't mean the damn Steam sale where you bought Fallout 3 for $1. I don't mean that. That's fantastic. I'm talking about physical PC games. And most people don't screw with that anymore. I definitely don't. But big issue I have with that. I've seen a trend in these. I've seen things change. I love vintage big box PC games, so don't get me wrong, that's good stuff. And when you have that, it's yours. But it's remarkable how this business, how this industry has changed. And recently I got bit in the ass. I bought a copy of Sims 4 for like $1 off some boob. and it had the key codes in it. So I'm like, great, because you get into that again. That's where I'm going with this. Without the key codes and all this stuff, the game is useless. It's literally freaking useless. But anyway, these people, they bought it, sold it to them, then they messaged me, dude, we're putting the codes in. They says it's already burned up. It's literally a one-time use. This is EA for you right here. So go ahead and consider the freaking source. And the only reason I broke my policy of don't screw with modern PC games is Sims 4 is pretty new. People were just recently paying $60 for this piece of shit at GameStop. For $1, I'll take a shot downfield if I don't connect. Fuck it. But, at any rate, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I was like, you know what? I hear you. I'm not sticking you on this. I gave them their money back. And what do you want us to do with it? Wear it for a hat, make a pizza bagel out of it, the piece of shit. But that's where I'm going with this. The non-vintage PC games, what a load of shit. And, GameStop still advertises half of their Game Informer magazine of new PC games. Who cares? Nobody's buying this shit, especially not from you. And if you do, you don't own it. You have a passcode for a damn game that'll work one time, and when your computer dies, you're done. What a crock of shit. Who screws with this? PC gamers are such elitists, too. They're always in my face about, console this, console suck, PC rules. Well, I admit, if you can get the same game I paid $60 for $3 on frickin' Steam, you don't have a box in the manual, good for frickin' you. Enjoy using your mouse. But this shit with the damn physical game not even really being physical, I mean, it's a useless turd. It's a freaking useless turd. You can't trade it. You can't sell it. You can't reuse it. It shouldn't even exist. You almost got to beg the question, why do they even print them and put them out? That's just cost to the freaking publisher. Why give me this? This is useless. This is literally like toilet paper. I pass it through my ass cheeks, and then it's time to flush it. Well, I can't use this. It already has shit on it.
I've never understood PC gaming, even in the vintage sense. You know me, I didn't have one as a kid.
I understand the shit out of it. It's bullshit.
I wasn't smart enough to use a computer as a child. We didn't have one until the 7th guest era. So that was what, a 486 SX processor. And I don't even exactly know how that thing worked. I'm not the best and most computer literate, but I do know that that's bullshit. And it's the same thing that's going to happen to all these console games that are, online only. Call of Duty ain't going to be worth a monkey's turd.
Mr. Venegas likes my cup. I just thought I'd say that.
That's good.
These were from Oliver's baby shower.
You should see the kid's room. He's got Super Mario's on the walls, man.
We need to take a look at that. But yeah, to rephrase, and not necessarily to rephrase, but just to back up, I love big box classic PC games.
Do me a favor.
I have a lot of them.
Thumb your camera real quick. You got a little smudge going on, I think.
Oh, it's not that. It's actually cracked.
Oh, it cracked?
Yeah, so when you see me, you're seeing me in a dream sequence, kind of like in a 1980s
sitcom. I was wondering why I was watching fucking Labyrinth.
Don't worry, I'll have a new iPhone soon. But we'll be doing some vintage computing segments on my show because, as you know, I'm a collector of those things. We've got the ST, we've got the Atari 400, I've got 2 Commodores, and I don't just have them to have them. I have them because we grew up with those, and I love the shit out of them. And the games I have for that, I do own, and they can be used as many times as you like. I don't know how we ever got to a mode where it's like, okay, put this disc in, use this code, and flush this down the toilet.
Well, that's where we're going, man. The kids today don't give a flip about a physical anything, and that's where everything's going. It's gonna all be digital. It's all.
But in this case, you have one though, and then they try to sell it.
It's not yours, man. You don't own that thing. You've bought a rental license to play it for a little.
Exactly, and to be fair, they don't know that when they go to sell it because they're just like, "Oh, I'm sure this works," And,
True.
I've sold PC lots before, and I've had people just say, "Look, I'm pretty much happy with this. Half of them worked, but half of them didn't because there were codes that." And it's always the bigger publishers too, so piss on them. Piss on them, piss on EA, piss on Ubisoft, piss on all of them, man. You'll know what you're doing. It's just like when a dog shits on the rug and he hides in the corner because he knows what he did. You know what you're doing, and you're not ashamed.
Did older big box PC games have stuff like that was like, you can't, if you don't have this registration code, you can't play this game, right?
You know what they had was they had questions in game. They would ask you, what's the fourth word from the seventh paragraph on
In the
page 6 of the instruction manual, to prevent piracy, because piracy was pretty hot.
And still is, and it's probably the reason that half of this shit becomes like that, because you can get it for free anyway. What's going on, TV? TV just turned on because this place is fucking haunted by Ghostbusters. Anyway.
While we're, if we can segue right into the next thing, while we're talking about things that may or may not have been sold on eBay, the latest in eBay douchery, I don't even know how late that it really is, but it's something I'm seeing here as of late, as both a buyer and both a seller. We have a new category. I swear it's new, because I've been doing this shit for going on a decade now, and I've never seen this. There's used and there's new, or there's for parts or repair, or, whatever. Now we have this new other, in parentheses, new other. What the? And we talk and we complain about clickbait so much. This is clickbait for your eBay item. Your shit's not new. It's open with a turd stain on it, but it's new other, which means, it's new except for the fact that I opened it and took a shit on it. Now and therein lies the problem. Your search results, now you're having to look at this shit stained hunk of diarrhea when that's not what you're looking for. And you're not going to sell it on that. But if you do, some of these that are opened and you may not be able to tell that it's an open box, you're misleading people. That's not helping you. It's definitely hurting me.
What is this new other?
Freaking douchery. Stop enabling douches. Don't give them the tools they need to be the pieces of human fucking stool that they are. Because once you enable them, it never stops. You've validated at that point. Now I can say, this is new other. This turd that came out of my ass, it's a hamburger, and it's brand new, but it's other because I've turned it into shit.
Oh, there's already a whole world of it going on over here. I just typed in new other. And a new other, an open box on eBay. What is it exactly? Yeah, like what's open box? That means somebody fucking opened the box and it's no longer new.
I got a big problem with that, man.
I do like, on Amazon you have used. That ranges from acceptable to like new. Through the scale of acceptable, good, very good, and like new. And then you also have collectible that ranges through those same factors. Now, again, someone's collectible is another person's used, and so forth. You know what I mean? So it's hard to. All these places, you're right. They enable douches to be douches and try and get away with douchery.
And it's a douche that comes up with it. I swear they're a secret society. The friggin' douche nozzles of the world. They've got the secret handshake, and they've got a way to say, hey, here's a new way we can keep doing this, man. This is a new way we can keep douching. Right here. Hey, we could say it's new, but this way we're not really saying it's new. No, you said it was new. That's what you opened with. Shit breath. It says new. And
right.
Mine's pre-owned, and it's right next to it.
Now they're
crispy and mint, and yours is not.
I can understand where it says, what if something is sealed and crushed? Like I find a lot of Game Boy Advance games that are still sealed.
Okay, well, there's the rare instance in which but here's the conundrum. Here's the ethic. I'm gonna throw you something here. Do you think they added that category because somebody like you had something like that, or because douche nozzles want to call everything they have new? And eBay, of course, get their cut from it. Which do you think is more probable in why the addition of that existed? That's what bothers me. If it exists for the right reason, we're not even talking.
Right.
But it doesn't. It exists because here's a new way to be a douche.
Well, that's, the fucking world we live in, dude, has become idiocracy. Like we were talking in a text the other night that we've basically been living idiocracy since the mid-'80s. Like the world is getting dumber faster. And look, just look what's going on around you all every day. And if you're on Facebook, the feed you see on there is just a pipeline of moronity. And the lowest common denominator is taking over this planet. We've talked about that before.
So why not talk about people buying Zelda teas at Hot Topic? Now, I'm not saying don't buy a Zelda tea at Hot Topic. Go for it. Wear it for a hat. I have a problem with people taking nerds and turning nerds into a culture. Let me straighten something out for all you people out there. You ain't a damn nerd, all right? If you didn't go through what I went through in elementary school, you're not a freaking nerd, all right? You don't get to go to Hot Topic and buy a Zelda shirt and go, hey, look at me, I'm a nerd. You're not a fucking nerd. And I'm not claiming some amazing thing. Oh, I am a nerd and you're not. It's an affliction. It's not a blessing, all right? I was into this shit when people wanted to, throw stuff at me and then spit on me for liking it, And now you want to say it's cool. Oh, I like role-playing games. Suck it.
I love you, man.
You're not a freaking nerd. You don't get to call yourself that.
Nerd culture, man. It's all the rage. Jump in. Is it worth it?
Oh my God. You want to get into is it worth it? We can go and get into is
I'm
it
just
worth
saying,
it?
is nerd culture worth it? Is it worth it to throw your fucking standards down and fucking corporatize every goddamn thing and try and suck every you can out of the fucking world?
Yeah, everybody I got a Star Wars t-shirt. I must be a nerd. I watched Star Wars once. Yeah, well, I watched it while you were still a swimmer in your dad's nuts, all right? I don't want to freaking hear it. I don't. You're not a freaking nerd. What do you want, a freaking award? You think you're part of this elite freaking group of people? Being a nerd was not a good thing.
And being a collector is nothing new. And being a collector does not necessarily make you a nerd. And even the things you collect doesn't necessarily make you a nerd. And I think that people often confuse the two of like, nerdery, you're right. Nerdery is an affliction, dude.
I mean, it is if you were one your whole life. But these people, you know what? I'm going to be a nerd today. I'm going to go to Hot Topic and buy a Star Wars shirt, and then I'm going to act like I'm a nerd. You don't act like you are one. You either are one or you're not. And I grow up with this crap. There's only one reason I still have all this crap, because I've always had this crap. Doesn't mean you can't get into it, but you're not a nerd, man. You don't get to wear that. You don't get to brand yourself with that.
I mean,
you didn't go through what I went through, man.
I don't ever feel like I was considered a nerd, at any point, or at least I never went through the shit that I know you went through. I was there with you. You know what I mean? I saw what happened and did my best to be your buddy throughout whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't ever consider myself nerd, all this nerd language in the world that's coming around is not something I really relate to. The collecting aspect, and I'm a video gamer. I've always been a gamer, but I never put a label on it until the last fucking couple years. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I am a gamer. You know what I mean? I don't like labels, so fucking whatever. I am a jack of all trades and a master of few. I would not say none. I definitely have put in fucking 10,000 hours doing certain things in this world that I'm pretty fucking great at. But
yeah, I might have stretched that out, but it's just, being a nerd for me was not a good thing. It's not a fun thing. And it almost kind of offends me now when people, oh, look, we're nerds. Yeah, you're a fucking nerd, all right. Fucking butte. Bounce your nuts off the side of your face. All right. Moving right along. Kids that think they're in Faze.
Squeekers!
You're a squeaker, dude. You weren't even born when Faze was probably put together.
I love that term.
If I killed you ever in Call of Duty, you're not in Faze. Let me go ahead and clue you in. All right, it's because I know where I stand in the Call of Duty food chain. Prisonedfuel, obviously. Scott, he's good, and even he knows where he stands. We're not E-League freaking players. I'm definitely not. But if I've killed you, you're not in Faze. Every other squeaker, dork, in every other Call of Duty lobby has Faze in their name. I mean, there should be a law against it, honestly. And I don't give two flying shits about Faze, but I ain't got nothing for or against him. But quit trying to pretend you're like in Faze, dude. I mean, it's God, so freaking douchey. And I'm so tired of playing with these squeakers. And they're calling you kid and 12-year-old, and they're actually like 11, It just blows my mind. It is scary because if you believe children of the future, these kids are literally calling adults kids, which they're not, and then doing it like an insult, like it's an insult to be 12 years old, and then they're 12 years old.
You know what it is
These are brilliant people, man. They're going to really amount to something someday.
you remember that old commercial of like, you know, the dad breaks into the kid doing the fucking, he's got the bag of weed and he's and he's like, what is this? What is this? And the kid's like, I learned it by watching you. That's exactly where these kids come from. They have douchebag fathers who think they're fucking Call of Duty tryhards, and they listen to how they talk to people online. And, you know, most of these guys are 19, 20, and they shouldn't be having kids anyway. And by the time they're 30, they've got 10-year-olds that are fucking mouthy little shits that are online dicking around. And, you know, that's what the world's become, dude. A lot of dicking around and a lot of bark, no bite. You know what I mean? All bark, no bite.
Lucky Collector says, just mute everyone so you don't hear it. Trust me. And honestly, that's a big pain in the ass too, because you're constantly having to go to a menu to mute people, because you'll be playing and suddenly here comes a squeaker and he's got some rap music blasting in the background. He's trying to be all, you know, thugged out, and it's just like, give me a break, man. You couldn't be more of a douche at that point. There's no etiquette there, and you're pretending you're in something you're not. You've actually gone in there and made your little Faze logo. You probably spent 3 weeks making it on the stupid avatar creator thing for something you're not even a part of, man. I mean, what a freaking loser you are. How does it feel? I mean, how does that feel? I've never understood anyone that has this false sense of accomplishment or belonging. I've never understood that. I know what it's like to not belong. Hot topic.
I figured I would share my mug too.
No, that's pretty cool. I just can't do the square ones though. I can't figure out where that's supposed to meet my lips and where it's not.
I like the corner, dog. I'll take that corner.
I reckon you'd have to. Yeah.
You gotta go like it's old school. Your hands out when you're drinking it, like you're fucking hitting a fucking flagon of ale or a bone horn of some sort. Oh, give me the horn juice.
Retro Underground says he was bullied as a kid. You know, and we looked at it differently back then. Nowadays, if you get bullied, you're like a national hero. Back then, you just took it on the chin. And I took a lot on the chin. And I'm not crying about it now. I want you all to understand that.
No, and also, Murray held his own by high school.
My licks, you know, and I tell
high school Murray held his own and had turned it around. So don't fucking get it twisted like Murray.
I did. I made a comeback.
High school by the time we left. Don't fucking let him act like he wasn't.
But
Underground
so
king.
That was the ironic part. I ended up not a nerd, but I still was one. I really, really
at heart, you definitely took it to heart and again, you were the kid I knew that I was like, if I need something drawn or if I need something like, let's go talk to Andy. Andy is the one he's the smartest kid I know. Like, let me go talk to the smartest kid I know, and that was Andy. And like that didn't mean to me nerd. To me, you know, I was in Focus and Probe. I was in all those fucking stupid things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the Alan Kehoes and the John Challens. I don't mean to throw out last names of people on this thing, but fuck it. The people that were smarter than me, and I knew they were smarter than me, and I was like, this guy's fucking brilliant. Like, what am I doing in this class? This guy is fucking brilliant. And I talked like that at like 9th grade or like 9 years old. I was like, this guy's fucking brilliant. So I was a different ilk. I had creativity, and I was allowed in these worlds of like people who are smarter than me a lot. And I've never felt like I had to catch up to anybody, but I also felt like other people maybe did seem like they felt like they slowed down when they talked to me. You know what I mean? Like there's people definitely in my world who not talk down to Kevin, but they definitely.
Well, I didn't get that from you. I mean, I thought that you were pretty intellectual without having to, you know, you kind of blurred the line by being intellectual, creative, and, you know, obviously you were always into acting and all that stuff. You were always so good at that. But you managed to still stay athletic and not, you know, because if I had done all those things on top of all the other things I did, it would have been just insult to injury. It would have been that much more I had to deal with.
Well, I was good at baseball, and I only played football to talk to girls. I mean,
if you played sports, you were good. That was the thing. You're fine as long as you played a sport. And the only thing I've ever been able to do is fight, you know. And
we didn't have fucking kids boxing.
And we definitely didn't. And you know, I was not that I was fighting back then either. But ball sports, I was just never any good at it. And I mean, I loved them, but I'm not good at them. So. All that shit about video games promoting hand-eye coordination, that's a bunch of shit if I've ever heard it. My hand can't find my eyes. My eyes can't find my hand.
I hope
But
that.
anyway,
I
that's
tried
my
to mute
take on it.
myself just then while I coughed. I don't know if it worked. Did you hear me?
But yeah, the moving right along into the Switchbait. Switchbait.
Oh, I didn't even write that one down. Yes, okay.
Switchbait. I really want to keep this as classy as I can keep it. And this does
Fuck
not.
that. You're on the main camera. You do what you got to do.
Well, and this is not about anybody. It really isn't. It's just about YouTube in general and what I have to see in my feed every day. And it's really starting to bother me. The amount of clickbait videos about NES classics, Super Nintendo mini classics, and everything possible about the Switch, from what do you think the B button will feel like in 2 weeks to the is it worth it that we continually just moan and groan about. And you know, if it's a legitimate question to be asked, by all means ask it. But tonight we're going to talk about the rutabaga theory. I think I've told you a little about the rutabaga theory.
I call them rutabagas because of my way southern parents, but yes, the rutabaga, I've never heard it pronounced that way, but I love it.
The well, you know, we can call it rutabagas. Either way, the rutabaga theory. It's a theory. And this is it. You're asking the question, you know, either is the Switch worth it, or will the Switch last more than 2 years, or will the Switch 2 have a light gun, or what is NBA 2K18 going to be like on the Switch? Is it worth it? Let's get something straight. You're not as interested in that topic as you're trying to let on that you are. And if tomorrow, in your opinion or in actual reality, rutabagas were going to be that interesting or that buzzy, you're not going to make another Switch video. Now, you are going to make another Switch video because that's what's getting you views. But if the rutabaga took that place tomorrow, you're going to make a video called Rutabagas. Are they worth it? Will rutabagas change color in 2018?
Do they stay in your hands?
Square rutabagas. Are these actually possible? I mean, it's just...
My problems with the rutabagas.
You're not interested in that topic. You're simply asking questions that either you don't have the answer to or that everyone already has an obvious answer to, because it's really buzzy and it's going to pull in views. And honestly, in my opinion, the wrong kind of views. These aren't even things that equate into subs necessarily. And then, you know, people are going to come back and say, now, wait a minute, Mur. Wait a minute. You're telling me that you wouldn't want to make a video that gets views? What the hell's wrong with you? Well, yes and no. I've done videos that I knew were not going to yield more than 15 looks. That's not why I did them. I did them because I wanted to showcase something. I just wanted to play something. Maybe I was just in the mood for something. Maybe I thought it was something that maybe not everybody knew about. And I think there's been a lot of videos I've done where people have said, damn, man, I didn't know that was a thing. I'm going right out and buying that. And I'm not talking about new stuff, obviously. I'm talking about retro mostly. But sometimes new stuff. You know, I play a lot of niche, weird JRPG titles not everybody's hip to. And again, you know, you could say, oh, well, you're just doing that so you get views on that. Well, of course, I hope I get views on it. But I'm also genuinely trying it out. I'm not asking any questions about it. You know, it's transparent. It could suck balls, and I'll tell you if it does. But we'll play it. We'll talk. We'll go over it. You know, we'll enjoy it. But all of this hype around the Switch, and you know, Nintendo hypes their stuff up. So I mean, you can sit there and almost partially say it's on them, but we don't have to react that way. We really don't. And when you're asking questions that are that freaking goofy, I just don't get it. And I think that you know who you are if you're doing that. You know that you're doing that. You know you're not really interested in what you're asking about. It's just BS. Don't ask the question. Just come right out and say it. Say the Switch is worth it. Obviously, we know it is. People are fighting like mad to get them. Just say, yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
But
and you know,
I mean, the worth it questions when it's if you got it for free, yes, it was worth it. Like that, you know, the download you had the other night of whatever that game is. Like if somebody made a video of that game, we were making fun of that during that stream. Like I was like, how much did this cost? You're like, it's free download. And I'm like, was it worth it? You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of shit that I see is like, this guy got this thing sent to him for free.
Well, that was funny because the guy in the comments said, "Is this worth downloading?" And I know what he meant. He meant, "Is this worth my time? Should I look at this?"
right.
But we instantly thought of, "Is it worth it?" Video. Is this free demo worth it? Because I guarantee you, and you said it. You fired back and said, "Man, I guarantee you, if you type that in, there's probably 70 of those videos that'll pop right up. Is this free demo worth it?"
Yeah, and it's like, yes, it was worth it, and
And I knew at the point that I did that video, no one was going to watch. It wasn't hot anymore. We're way past day one. Didn't care. I wanted to play it. Loved the freaking game. I'm going to 100% that bastard when it comes out. Good times. But there, and I have certain policies about what I do as well. I've skipped a lot of AAA stuff this year that there's just no point in me doing it because 5 million other people are doing it, probably doing it better. And also clickbaiting the hell out of it. So go ahead. You can have that. But the Switch is, it's topping the list on some. I can't believe how much stuff comes through my feed. Is the Switch this? Is the Switch that? The Switch is this? And they will have their face. Man, I don't want to see anymore. I just really don't. I'm sorry. You can hate me if you want to, but I just don't like that.
Yeah, YouTube needs to like cull your feed.
It's not real. You're not being real with me because you don't give that much of a crap about that. I really just don't believe you do. Nobody wakes up and says, "Oh, I got 50 new questions about the Switch." And hell, you freaking have one. You don't have any questions about it. You're just trying to zooker more people into clicking on this thing. And it's just, ugh. I know you want people to watch the stuff. But, I think in most cases, people are going to watch the stuff, especially if you're top tier shit, and it just, ugh. I don't know why it makes my skin crawl. I'm just being real honest with you and telling you that it does.
I've noticed the internet itself is very high school. We've talked about this before. The internet is clicky, and not just YouTube, but like, Facebook and all these different websites you go to. They're very, the trolls are out and they're fucking in full force. And like, we've already got a thumbs down on this podcast for some reason, but who the fuck has clicked to our channel that, doesn't like our stuff, but they're sub to it now? You know what I mean? Like, who gives
I know there's probably a lot of people that do not like what I do, and you're not who I'm doing it for.
No,
that's okay. I probably wouldn't like it.
I also feel like if you don't got some haters, then you're not doing anything right in this planet.
Yeah, and prison says that too. If you're not getting trolled, you're not legit. But these question videos, the speculation, and again, you're almost kind of hiding behind the fact that that's what it is. But then do a thing like we're doing right now, because honestly, I did a video about the Call of Duty World War II the other day, and I titled it, "Is this a $60 game?" And when I saw that I did that, I cringed for a minute. I was like, "Oh my god, I did it! I did it! I made a clickbait video." I was like, I didn't even mean to, and I went back in there and I changed it. But what was upsetting me about that is I was legitimately asking the question. While they gave me a snazzy hat and it fits better than probably any ball cap I've put on for some reason, I don't feel like that's a $60 Call of Duty. I feel it's a third-rate turd from a third-rate publisher, and I think they're phoning it in. And when I ask that question, I honestly want feedback. Am I skipping Call of Duty this year? I don't want to do it. But I actually
let's talk about more of that. Talk about your feeling on that shit.
Well, and this is what I'm saying. If you did that in a live stream, which to be fair, I did, you're giving people the chance to come in and kind of talk that out with you. But when it's all pre-done and the whole thing's like, is it? I mean, I know you can get comments after the fact, but I don't feel that that's genuine when people do that. Not as much of it as there is, and everybody's asking the same questions, and I know everybody has an opinion just like a butthole, and we all want to express it and all that, but it's just so buzzy. I mean, the minute the freaking Nintendo Direct is off, these people they're racing to their freaking cameras. Oh my god, my reaction video, and Mario looks like this, and I saw his nipples, and what do you think about this? And it's just like, dude, I don't know. I mean, we all already freaking watched it.
I mean, it's that whole like instant gratification of people who have to have their voices heard immediately, and like
it won't even be about anything big, but it is something buzzy because it was just announced. So they pounce on it like a puma. And it's just like,
hoping that somebody is looking, that's gonna click on it because they're looking for real information on it and not expect it to be a speculatory.
And they don't get it. And then if they're looking for integrity there, they don't find it. So again, that's to me, that's just not what, it's not what I want. So.
Well, exactly, and it's not what I want to do or what I want to watch. So I don't, and I
see people moving to doing those kinds of things, and then they start doing them exclusively. And to me, it's like, man, you don't want your format to be just that. It's none of my business what you do, but I would not.
It's not for you. And again, there's a reason why, my band didn't ever work. Maybe what I do is not.
It's the same thing, man. It is literally the same thing. We never conform. And that might be the dumbest thing about us. People are going to come back and say, oh, y'all are dumbasses. And the irony is that they'll be right. They're going to be so right, because I never would play cover songs. I would always just do my own stuff. And we always had so many people that loved what we did, but obviously not enough to put records out. So
we put records out, but who gives a fuck? Nobody's buying them. Although
we wouldn't conform, and we should have. We should have been, when all those drunk people were yelling, "Play some Skinner." By God, I should have played 10 Skinner songs, but I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to do it. So,
and that's back there, because I feel like everything I've ever done, I put my heart into, and it's an integral thing for me to do. And if I half-ass it, then what's the point? And so I don't. That's why I don't put out an episode every week. I put out an episode when I fucking feel like making one.
Well, that's the conundrum. We're not doing what works. People say, hey, what you're talking about is what works. So you obviously don't know what you're talking about. And again, ironically, I'm going to agree with you. And you may be shocked if I agree with you. But you're right. But that's not what I want to do. I don't have a very high opinion of that. And I'll probably never amount to a hill of turds because of that. But just like Burger King, I have it my way. And if you see what I've done and you like that, that's why I'm here.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's it. If you connect with what I do, then more power to you. And please show up and hang out and let's talk and let's be friends.
I want you to like what I do. And
I also,
if I'm not doing that, if that's not genuine anymore, then you're not really liking.
And I will say this: I have started to practice what I preach in the comments. If I dislike a video and I feel badly enough to thumbs it down, I will definitely go into the comments and tell you why I dislike it. And I don't necessarily go through like, you're a fucking idiot, or I'm not pointing
no
names. I put down like, this is my opinion on why this is not the best. And I've definitely done that a couple times, especially in the last like month. And it's made me feel better about thumbs downing something, which I never really would. If I didn't like it, I'd just stop watching it. I wouldn't put a comment or nothing. I wouldn't interact with it at all. But I feel like you're more of a chicken shit if you thumbs down something and fucking walk away from it than thumbsing it down and giving me a reason why you thumbs it down.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I really only do it to clickbait.
I look at big channels that have like 30,000 views, 50,000 views, and it's like, look at that, and they've got 1,000 thumbs ups and like 200 thumbs down. And it's like, what did you 200 people? What are those 200 people doing? And like, all you read in the comments is, dude, awesome episode, dude, this is amazing. Oh man, I love that part. Was like, all the fans come out in droves to fucking tell you what they like, but no one ever comes out to tell you what they don't like. They just want to fucking, oh, like that. Don't like it.
Retro Underground made an interesting comment here. He says, you have to put out a video once a day. Yeah, right. I don't have time for that. I hear you. And you do. I mean, some of the people I've seen come up after me and then blow right past me, and they're good at what they do. It's just, but they're always doing it.
But are they?
Well, I mean, to scale, sure. But my point being is they never get off. They're on Twitch all day. They're on YouTube all day. They never stop playing games. And people will misconstrue this. Oh, you're hating on them. I'm not. Nothing but love for you. I'm so proud that you play games. And I hope you don't, have an aneurysm or anything, because that happens to people. I would love to veg out with a bag of Doritos and a 12-pack and just play games 24 hours. That'll never be my life again. It's just not. But that is kind of what you got to just be there.
Well, you got
to make content.
You got at least 18 more years before you can.
But I hear you. I don't have time for that either. And to pump it out, quantity and quality is a challenge,
Oh
because
yeah,
all of that takes time. It's not just making it; it's
the,
roughing the edges out and putting out something that's actually worth looking at for more than a minute.
the quantity kills the quality, and
Now, I
that's
don't know if you were asking me earlier if you wanted me to elaborate on my Call of Duty feelings, or if you were asking me to elaborate on the nature of the video itself, but
either or. I mean,
that was a legit question that I was asking. I'm really on the fence this year. You know, I love playing with my clan, Prisonedfuel and all them guys, and all of you watching. If you haven't watched Prisonedfuel, I don't know. I'm trying to get some love for Scott's channel there, because if this dude's videos, you will piss yourself laughing. He's a professional Call of Duty troll. So link his video in the description, Captain, if you don't care.
there's his,
But
click on his name and
I really want to play with these guys again this year. We've been playing all the way back since Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, but man, this game, I'm not real big into the World War II games, and this, to me, giving it to Sledgehammer, I don't know, man. That just seems like a strange maneuver. It seems like that's like putting in your second string or third string quarterback for the Super Bowl game when your first string's okay. I understand how they, go and they change year to year, but somebody Treyarch needed to do the World War II game. Maybe they had something better to do. And yeah, it is a nice hat. I'm going to tell you, they gave me the hat. I did pre-order it. I'll probably still pick it up. But I say that, I don't know, man. I got a ridiculous backlog, and I really haven't given Infinite Warfare a fair enough shake. I just haven't had time to fool with it this year, and I'm still playing the Black Ops games because I love them. But what I saw of that beta, I was not impressed. Graphically, sound, and I did not like the guns. Just didn't really like anything about it at all. And there may be things I'm missing. In fact, I've got it on good authority. Some top tubers out there are telling me, no, man, you got to give this a chance. This is really, really cool stuff. It's good. It's good. And my whole clan loved it. But I don't know, man. Not even a wiggle down there for me. It's just
clan loves them all. No offense to your clan. I've had fun playing with those guys. Me and Scott are buddies, and they're fun guys. But they fucking, that's all they want to play is fucking Call of Duty, bro.
Well, they didn't like Advanced Warfare, and that was Sledgehammer's last one. That's the irony of it. So, are they capable of putting this thing out and it's going to be the real deal? It's just hard for me to swallow. And when people confuse what a beta is, they don't go back and fix things and then put the game out. This close to it being launched, this is early release. It's not a beta. Don't kid yourself. You're playing the game. That's what it's going to be when it comes out. It's too late to make changes. Beta doesn't mean what it used to mean. I mean, it does, but that's not what it is. When something comes out from Activision and you get a beta 2 months ahead of time, you're playing it, dude. That's it.
It's done.
It's boxed in a warehouse somewhere. It's just not shipped yet. They're not gonna fix it. It gives them an idea of what the sales may look like. I mean, it's a tool for them, but it's not a tool for you, which is really what it's intended to be. Your feedback and all that should go into the fine tuning of the product, and there's not going to be any tuning.
Right.
So
it's like, do they on that vein, there are companies that do that, like that fucking No Man's Sky is basically a completely different game at this point, right?
Like, that's what they tell me, and I'd love to look back at it at this point. I can almost hear the crickets chirping in the live stream, though. But it wouldn't be for that. I'd really just want to look. And
yeah, I'd like to see if they got anywhere near what they promised it was going to be.
Well, they're also one that was, half of the hype for them was also related to ridiculous amounts of clickbait. People were taking pictures of dinosaurs and photoshopping them into the screen, and oh my god, new race found in No Man's Sky. I was like, God, dude. Oh my god, that game, I'm not saying it's not their fault, because it was, but god, people really took that ball and ran with it. They took advantage of how uncertain things were with that product, and they used it for their own YouTube gain. And I think a lot of people just had the wrong impression about it, including myself. Going in, my biggest complaint was there was just no point. What the hell is the point of this game? There's literally, it was like, man, I get a bigger ship until I can't get a bigger ship anymore, and then I fill that ship up, and the game's still not over.
Yeah. You
I'm
thought
out.
it'd be
I
more,
mean, this is
an updated
boring.
Starflight, right? That's what you were hoping.
Huh?
You were hoping it was going to be the modern day Starflight.
Very much, because Starflight very much had a point, and it had an end, and you could still play after the end. It never did end, but it did
Right.
have an end. It had a point.
Yeah, I need a narrative in my games. Does that make me a bitch? I like games with fucking narrative. I love single player campaigns.
You know, I would tell you that I don't need that, and that I'm all about multiplayer. If it is there, that it's okay if it doesn't have that. But I'll tell you, the Monster Hunter games, that's a good example, and they tried to do that same format in that Final Fantasy Explorers on the 3DS. Let me tell you something. You ever played a Final Fantasy without a story? Wow. That's like a horse with no legs. I mean, there was absolutely no point to playing this game. It's the worst piece of shit I've ever looked at in my life. I put it on eBay the second day I had it and actually made a couple bucks on it. See ya. I mean, so yeah, I mean,
Are the
for the game to be truly epic, I think it may just have to have one.
I'm not a huge RPG guy. I did play Final Fantasy VII, but like Final Fantasy Tactics, is there a storyline to that, or is that just?
Oh yeah, an intense one.
Okay.
It's also something I even have borrowed from a little bit, very little bit, in our current D&D campaign, and I can't even say how because it'd be a spoiler if any of them watch. But just some concepts from the overall story of that. Yeah, but yeah, at a glance, you see this tactics game, and you're thinking it may not be a very in-depth story, but in reality, it really is. It's really cool.
Well, when I see the word tactics, I just think fighting and
A
like
game of chess, yeah, which I mean, it is to scale, but there is a great story there.
Okay.
There's actually a line from that game in one of my raps. That's how serious I take that game. It's actually a line from a spell casting.
Eighth, Lord Eighth in the chat is my buddy seventh level son. They were hanging out at the booth with me there at Retropalooza a while back, and he wrote, "I've played the updated No Man's Sky, and it's not all that good. It's a step in the right direction, but still not what was promised."
I believe that because they're chasing their butts at this point, and maybe they stuck a dinosaur in and say, "Well, here's a dinosaur," but yeah, man. I mean, at this point,
I'm gonna definitely go back and play it again because I put a good like month into it. I played it for like a month, and I like really got into it, and then it was very Minecrafty, and like I kind of got that out of it. But like you're right, I got super bored, and once
I totally got that out of it. But when I realized that there was no point to what I was doing,
right.
I stopped. I mean, at least in Minecraft, you can build things, and when you're done, say, "Hey, look what I built," even if you tear it back down. But there's just nothing to do.
Like your Lego World game that you were pissed off about.
Oh my God, what a steaming hunk of stool that was. Well, here's a Lego game that you can't build anything in. We already have a million of those. Batman, Avengers, Spider-Man. This was supposed to be Lego Minecraft. All it was a themeless Lego Batman or Marvel game. Here it is without a freaking big name franchise attached to it. Just kidding. You can't build anything. You can change the colors of a tree. Congratulations. God, don't be fooled. What a hunk of diarrhea. Even Molly hated it, and that's the real test. And the kid didn't get into it. My kid didn't get into it. Jesus. Yeah, she was super disappointed in that.
Yeah, that blows my mind. If she don't dig it, then there's something wrong with it.
And you know me, I just put stuff on the shelf usually and whatever. But that was another of the day two eBay squad, and I flipped that thing like a dadgum. I mean, see ya. Somebody else can have this turd.
Are you going to continue gaming when that shit's dead? When it's all no physical media anymore, all the new games are on fucking downloadable systems only. Are you gonna still be gaming, or are you just gonna play the old stuff?
I mean, the old stuff, you know, being timeless as it is, I'll always have to go back to it. So
I think I'm gonna give up if at a certain point if it goes to like everything's digital anymore, all the new
does
stuff
go to that. I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll still play, but I don't see myself investing as heavily in that because
I have spent so much money on downloaded games as it is now that like let me rephrase. If I buy the only reason I don't buy downloaded games anymore, I bought like 5 in my lifetime that I didn't know what I was buying before I bought it, and
yeah.
I will not do that again. Like you will not fucking burn me with a fucking shitty game that I just paid $60 to download. or whatever it was.
Definitely happens. I bought that D&D Sword Quest Legends because of D&D. I'm not asking questions. Should have asked questions.
There's so many of them. The club and the crew and like, why did I buy that hunk of shit?
Oh my God, yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, because I really didn't. When it all goes that route, if we get to that point, I will probably invest a lot less because it's all commodity at that point. I mean, once your system stops working or once they start supporting it, it's
Gone.
It's gone. And I have a certain amount of obligation running the channel that I'm running here because I always say I like to bring you the best day one, and I do. I don't buy games just because I think they're going to be clickbaity and people are going to watch them. I still only buy things that I want and am genuinely interested in. But yeah, I get turned off a lot of times if it's just digital, and that really upsets me. I mean, they did it with the damn Wonder Boy reboot. It was digital. I had to have that day one. Then months later, we get this freaking collector's edition. You know what? Piss on you. I didn't even buy it. That's crazy too, isn't it? I didn't buy it. But I said, you know what? You're not going to do me that way. You can stick that in your fucking ear. Because I've got Wonder Boy the Dragon Trap on Sega Master System mint in the freaking box. And that's better than your cardboard, faux collector's edition that you want to stick a damn $80 price tag on. I felt slapped around at that point. You're not getting my money.
Right.
I was ready to buy it. I had my finger on it. It wasn't because I couldn't get one. Limited run's not that hard to buy from.
No.
You just got to have the alert and be ready. But I was like, you know what? I can't do it. I can't pull the fucking trigger because I already own the game. I have the real thing. That'd be like if you owned the Klopman Diamond, but you wanted to get a replica of it. Just never mind, man. You're not getting my money. This is bullshit. Should have had this ready when the game came out. And I don't know why it was not done that way. Digital. Well, it's going to be available digital first, maybe later on. They're doing it with Minecraft on the 3DS. That was probably one of the coolest things, at least in this household, to take away from the recent Nintendo Direct. Molly's wanted Minecraft on her 3DS all her freaking childhood.
I was going to.
They finally get it, and then now it's like, oh well, it's digital.
I found this. Just to go along with your story here, I popped it up on the screen though. But this is
please show, yeah.
Somebody asking $149.99 for the new Wonder.
What a bunch of nice scalper shop.
And $64.99 for just the PS4 copy. Like just the loose copy. What a bunch of bricks.
Scalper shop, man. You have a retail front to scalp. That's hilarious. But at any rate, the digital Minecraft. There's no break on the price. And then we'll get you the physical one later on. It'll be the same price. And you're going to have to wait for that.
Right.
And you know what, Molly, I'm proud of her. She said, you know what, Daddy? I want the case in the book, and I want us to actually have the game. She said, so don't buy it. Just don't.
Right.
I knew as soon as that Direct was over, it was going to be time to break out the credit card and do some downloading. But no, she was just like, no, I want the box. That's not cool. So she's going to be patient, which I know is hard to do when she has Minecraft on every other device in the house, including the microwave. At any rate,
here's Night Trap. They wanted $179.99.
Yeah, come on, man. And you talked about this, that you got really sick of seeing stuff on OfferUp that was retail or higher, and this is almost similar. You're doing this in your retail store. There's a place to hawk your cheesy, overpriced crap to people in an igloo in Alaska that maybe you can't get to somewhere where they can purchase this item.
On eBay. If you want to get retail, go to fucking eBay.
If I walk into your store and I start seeing that, I turn around and walk back out. Going to a game store, and I've touched on this in some of my past videos, is not the same experience anymore, because it's not based on a price that things are. It's based on the ethics or the character of the person running the thing, whether or not you're going to find a $30 Smash Brothers or $120 Smash Brothers. It's all over the place, and it's completely based on the person's attitude and how hard they obviously must think they can stick it to the people in their locale. So at that point, I'm just mad, not because I can't buy from you, but you've literally wasted my time. We're in an age where I don't even want to get out of the car if I don't freaking have to. It should have a drive-through window if you're going to do that. Hey, man, are you a prick? Okay, good. I didn't want to come in. Just keep driving. Because this is bullshit, It's absolute bullshit. Oh, you have prick prices? Okay, thank you.
Douche price. No, thanks, man. Good. I'm glad you got that sign in the window that says we are douches.
I mean, yeah, douchebag stuff at douchebag prices. Then I won't even get out. Oh, it's a douchebag store. Okay, keep driving.
But then you find the places like I found the other day and told you about, which is, I'll go ahead and give them a shout out. Kapow Comics and Games. And they were giving, doing a quarter on anything. If it was $1 game, they'd give you a quarter for it. So it didn't matter what it was, Madden, fucking NCAA, whatever it may be. You could go get a quarter for it. I made a good deal and traded and got a couple cool things. Got a Mega Man 5 out of it and a couple other things I traded up to with a stack of crap. So I don't know what he's going to do with them. Maybe make them coasters. He plans on selling them, I guess. To who? You got me. But it was awesome that there was a local retail shop in town that was doing something like that.
RP is bailed on us. Thank you, RP, for joining us. And I see Retro Underground makes another point here. You should at least get a discount on a physical copy if you bought the digital copy. There's been some ethical stuff, but not to backtrack, but Microsoft and Sony, if they knew you owned Minecraft on the old gen systems, you were able to download the game for $5 on the new one. That was really cool. For $10, I had Molly set on both consoles. Right?
There were things that popped up when my Xbox One updated one time that popped up that were games I had downloaded on my 360 that are now available on my Xbox One, and it did that for me. You know what I mean? Like pulled them over without me having to touch them. Microsoft has some of their shit together.
Well, on the Vita, it's free too. It's like, oh, well, you owned it on the main thing, so handheld, here, you can just have it.
Right.
When Nintendo slaps Mario and Minecraft and they want $30 for it instead of 20, the game doesn't cost $30, it's 20. They're asking 30. And then for digital, it's just a bit much, man. And again, I don't like to say bad things I don't ever hate on Nintendo. I love Nintendo very much. You know that. But here's us, the people that will buy Minecraft no matter what you put it on. Minecraft hats, underwear, cereal, motor oil. I don't just put it on there. We'll buy it. We're that family. But we didn't buy it. Proof's in the pudding. You $30 digital. No thanks. A 9-year-old walked. You didn't even get in her business. So that's failing, guys. We got to get it to $20. That's the price point. Don't get silly with this, man. Mario's your thing. Don't charge me extra for it. Anyway, that's about all the time I've got for tonight.
Nintendo knows where they stand with their first party titles. They are the fucking king of it, and they make the best first party titles. So they're going to
just on a digital thing where you're making 100%. You certainly don't need to mark it up.
And that's why Smash Bros. Melee still holds a $75 value, $65 value, because it's worth every penny. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo shit is quality, and I will give them that. When they do finally put something, even the Virtual Boy had its moments and has its things. You know what I mean? Like every system they've ever made, you can call this one a failure. And yeah, technically compared to their other systems, that one was a failure, but it's not. They're
all cool pieces of the history, man, and
it's Nintendo, dude. And there's
it gets pissed upon itself to a degree. So,
and people can claim that they're not number one anymore, but bullshit, dude. Nintendo is the fucking king. Sony doesn't put out shit like this and have people go fucking buck wild for Sony shit. Now they do put out like limited consoles, and they got the gold thing you can get from a Taco Bell, and like they try and do their little things, but nobody fucking has anything on Nintendo's fucking.
Well, it's the same as Mike Tyson. People try to say Mike Tyson's not number one too, but nobody brings the hype and the heat to the ring that man did. That's why he's always going to be my number one. And Nintendo's metaphorically kind of like that. They bring this heat. We're just foaming at the mouth. We're in lines. We're peeing in bottles out in front of Best Buys in 20-degree weather waiting to buy their products.
Scalping.
Regardless of how much they're selling. You've got us, man. We're hooked.
And scalping pre-orders on Super Nintendo Classic.
It's insane. So that, we didn't touch on that. I don't want to see any more videos about that. No more about that. More about, I don't know. If we
stop feeding that fire will go out.
Stop. Now, that being said, I will do videos of playthroughs. We're going to be playing that thing all day one, because I'm getting it. That's why I got it. And I hope you'll join us live and check it out. But I don't want to, I'm not here to speculate about it and what this company's doing with it and what these people are doing with it. And at that point, you've talked so much about it. You're doing it intentionally, and you're trying to bait more views in. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's just don't talk about it anymore. God, just don't talk about it anymore. Because half the people that are talking about it, they're getting one if they're not getting 10. So, that's enough. No more. Calm down. The people that should be upset are the ones that aren't getting one. They can scream as loud as they want.
What do you think the actual ratio is of people who watch a show versus make one?
Oh gosh, I have no idea.
How many content creators are there for every viewer? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? What's the ratio?
I've honestly never considered it.
It makes me wonder.
It's probably it's closer in than we probably think. Because with technology the way it is today, I mean, you can hit 2 buttons on your phone and have uploaded something to YouTube. So
Right, you could be live streaming on YouTube.
I'm not saying it's going to be good, but you know what I'm saying. It's not hard to do. So the numbers are probably closer than we think.
But I would think on average, there's probably well more users than there are makers.
Yeah,
like watchers than there are makers.
Definitely.
I wonder what the ratio are of makers who watch makers. You know what I mean? Like what content maker has the most makers watching him?
That's a good question. I mean, I try to learn from people, and whether it's stuff they're doing right or wrong, or whether it's stuff I like or whether I don't. It's all useful.
Right.
Well, I say that it's not all, but a lot of it is.
It's not all useful.
Some of it's absolutely soulless, complete lack of integrity, hog diarrhea. But there's a lot of that out there too. But even that, you kind of learn from it. Nah, you don't really, because you'd never intentionally make hog diarrhea. No. I'm not even a hog.
But let's finish it on hog diarrhea, man. That sounds like a great place to cut off the podcast and have a.
That's about all the time I've got for tonight.
Hog diarrhea.
As always, I love talking with you, and I hope everybody, takes what we've talked about, the right way, and I hope you understand my position on a lot of different things. And welcome any comments, criticism, thoughts. Always interested, always love to get a conversation going. And I want to spin these things in the most positive light, because it's about maintaining the integrity of the whole thing. There are many times when my TV is taken over because people are watching SpongeBob and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and YouTube's all I've got. So quit putting crap on it.
It boggles my mind. And some of the things I've seen, dude, like, I love D-Dave so much. I love the videos he picks out to make fun of him. My God, where does he find these videos that have so many views? Like, who the fuck are watching these videos?
Yeah, he's turned a negative into a positive there by, like, God, look at this turd. And he ain't afraid to tell you who it is either. And it's hysterical.
It's hysterical.
God, I'm in tears watching his stuff. It's absolutely hysterical.
These motherfuckers, man. Every time it cuts to that, I love it. And poor Eric.
You think that would get old, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It gets funnier every time, which is...
Because it's well placed. It's like his signature punch. He's been jabbing, then he throws it.
Yeah.
And it connects.
Well, Castlemania, if you just got here, you got an hour's worth of rewind to do, buddy. You got to...
Watch the recap. Yeah, it's a good convo.
We had a good conversation. Murr had a heated moment in the middle where he threw some elbows and came off the top rope like fucking Macho Man. It was pretty impressive.
Don't think I won't.
Speaking of Macho Man, I watched WrestleMania 3 today for the first time in years, and the first 4 matches suck ass, but the last 2 hold up. Yeah. Hogan and Giant hold up, and Steamboat and Macho Man hold up. That's one of the greatest wrestling matches I've ever watched.
It really is. That's a good one. I've got my VHS still.
That's probably worth some money, dude. The VHS copy of it. Check it out. Look it up. There's probably stuff on there that WWF doesn't want out in the world anymore. You know what I mean? Like, if you watch the stuff on the network, they've edited out different appearances, different performances, songs, things that they don't have the licenses to. There's a lot of stuff on their home videos that got released early on that they don't ever show you anymore. There's so much Benoit footage on this planet that they don't even mention Benoit's name. Like, that's so sad.
And it is, because what he did was
he did was awful and terrible, and yes, and he should not be a hero for that, but that doesn't mean you wipe the man's fucking legacy off.
He was incredibly talented, yeah. I mean, I've never been so blown away by somebody who I watched debut and just thought, God, this guy right here.
His move was a flying fucking headbutt off the top rope, and that concussion syndrome, all those fucking, he had that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that what he did to his wife and kid was not him. Was something that had. His brain
that was just inhuman. That was not.
His brain had snapped, and all the concoctions of drugs and years of fucking concussions you know what I mean? Like I give him a pass. I don't think he was in the right mind. I don't give him a pass for murdering his wife and kid.
Well, no, obviously.
I give the situation.
You're just saying that there was something else.
I give the situation a lot more thought, and it wasn't a situation where he did it out of hate and anger and you know what I mean? Like something snapped and he went crazy.
Broke. Yeah, I don't think that was premeditated at all. I remember reading
it wasn't an O.J. Simpson. I mean, it wasn't whatever that may have been. It wasn't an OJ case. It was a situation where the guy did it, and then 2 days later he hung himself because he couldn't live without them, and he didn't realize what he'd done. He had a fucking manic episode or whatever may have happened. I wasn't there. Nobody was there. I'm just saying.
But we can talk wrestling all night.
WWE doesn't need to like shove people under the rug like that shit. You know what I mean?
No, they don't. And you can't. Anybody that played a part in building that empire, no matter how small or how big.
Right. Deserves your respect to a certain degree, depending on who it is.
I'm signing off.
Yeah, man. Let's do it again sometime soon. Again, we don't have to be on any schedule for anybody but us. So that's where we will leave it. Thank you all so much for watching the Talking Retro podcast with CaptNRetro and
Emceemur. Leave your vision in a blur.
You want to freestyle out real quick?
You have to catch me a little earlier in the morning for that. The
right,
are not turning very fast.
No freestyle tonight, but pretty soon we're gonna get that hat back on your head, and you're gonna fucking freestyle half of your rant needs to be in a freestyle rap.
Pretty soon, I hope that we'll get back in the studio, and pretty soon I hope we'll be able to do some rehearsal and actually start producing some music again. Me and you, and I'll bring out some of the guys and.
Let's do it. I was talking with Hub and Kylie tonight. Like they want to rock. So let's do something.
Yeah, I think everybody would genuinely get a kick out of that, and I know I would. So
cool. All right, buddy. Well, I'm gonna kill the broadcast. It's been awesome. Thank you all so much.